This is the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz, brought to you by Gate City Bank and Pepsi.
Welcome into the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz. I'm Rob Hipp, as always joined with head coach Matt Entz. Coach, I know a tough one today. Before we really dig into that, just wanted to start by saying a heck of a job that you and your staff do with these young men. A lot of adversity this season you had to battle through. We'll talk about that here in a moment. But just your thoughts on this ball game.
Well, early in the game, it's snowball effect, avalanche, whatever you want to say. Things that we emphasized, we just couldn't execute. We wanted to get off the field on third down. I think they were 6 of 8 in the first half. We could not turn the ball over, and that's something that we've done the last couple times that we've played them. And those two things just aren't a good recipe for success. And all of a sudden you're down behind a really good football team, and all the credit to Coach Stiglmeyer and their football team. They were well prepared and played extremely well today. But when you give a team that many opportunities, it's going to be hard to come up with a victory.
NDSU getting off to a fast start, but then the Bison responding. It was great to see Joe Stuffle in the mix. Had a nice touchdown there in the first half.
That was a great job. Little wide delay. We got him isolated with their kind of a sub linebacker in there, and he kind of stemmed him and got vertical back inside of him and made a big time catch. And I think we did a nice job of selling the run game on that, where it was truly some run action pass.
I think it was great, too. You see some redshirt freshman guys. Eli Green getting into the mix. He had a nice touchdown grab for 44 yards through the air. Just what really impressed you about his play and the young guys' involvement in this one?
Well, Eli's one of those young men that have continued to develop, all season long. Came to us as a walk-on from Farmington, Minnesota. Tremendous skill set, just a raw athlete, and has really taken under the tutelage of Coach Pauly, the wide receiver play here and getting open, and he does a lot for us. He's a big special team asset as well, and we got him for 3 more years, so really excited about where he's at right now. And we always talk about a race to maturity. He's one of those guys that we need to continue to develop at a quick pace.
Well, Bison Nation showing up in full force as we expected. It was loud down there, and I always like to give you an opportunity just to talk about that impact that our fan base has.
Well, once again, unbelievable, just volume of people that were down here, and since our arrival on Thursday, we'd had an opportunity just to see so many of them and get a chance to bump into them. Of course, on Saturday we had our alumni practice, and probably nearly 150 former players there. And Bison Nation is unbelievably supportive. And they are as good a fan base as you're going to find throughout the country. And I don't care if you're FBS, FCS, mid-major, Power 5. This group of people are special, and that's what makes this program and this university so special.
Let's take a look at first half highlights presented by Gate City Bank.
Johnson with a touch, Kobe. Johnson, and the first down of the game for North Dakota State. And a gain of 14 yards, the tackle by Freeman. Suffered a dislocated finger against Incarnate Word in the semifinal victory. In the comeback, a flea flicker here. Miller with time, floats one deep. Double coverage and catch. Zach Mathis with a first down.
Wow, what a catch.
26-yard gain, Jay, and Mathis at 6'6", pinpointing the football high.
That's what you do, and that's how you help out your quarterback that's struggling a little bit. Don't back down, either team.
Williams, the running back. Play action, they'll fake the handoff, and the pass is caught by Joe Stuffle. Touchdown, NDSU. Pressure. Miller off the back foot. Mathis has it into plus territory, and an enormous pitch and catch. 91 yards and a touch. TK Marshall, the running back. Now in SDSU territory. Bison with 2 timeouts to work with. Miller's going to heave one deep, and he's got a man, and that will be an NDSU touchdown. Eli Green from 44 yards out, and the Bison are back in it.
Let's take a look at first half stats presented by Nodak Insurance. Coach, we talked about SDSU getting off to a fast start, but the Bison, a little bit of success throughout that air game today with Cam Miller.
Yep.
We've talked about it all season, and we'll continue to. Cam's been that guy that just finds ways to complete passes and get his receivers involved.
He did a great job today. Zach Mathis came down with a bunch of big-time catches, had a big one early in the game that moved the chains for us. And Zach has tremendous length to him, but I think deceptively fast out there. And Cam was able to utilize some tight ends, get the ball to his receivers as well. And we just got to continue to develop that pass game as we move forward.
SDSU there is 16 first downs compared to 6, a lot better in the second half. We'll talk about that in a minute for the Bison. Just some of the struggles there moving the chains in the first half, Coach.
Well, just getting behind on early downs, and all of a sudden you'd see it was 2nd and 12, second and long, and we just can't be in our third. And then that generated 3rd and long, of course, and we just couldn't get the running game going. And that consistent run game that we've leaned on for a number of years now, we just couldn't pop a big one. We couldn't loosen them up, and we need to continue to really work to balance out our pass and run game, so that way people can't just pack the box against the Bison.
We'll have the second half highlights presented by Gate City Bank right after this.
Teamwork, talent, dedication, leadership. These values that win championships on the field also build community, improve lives, and make a difference every single day. For you, for our neighbors, for our community, for a better way of life. Gate City Bank.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
The hunt is on, and it's about to get loud.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
Welcome back to the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz. And Coach, just kind of talking a little bit about that second half. As I mentioned earlier in the first segment, a lot of young guys getting involved here in this ball game. Really what stood out more about their play in this one?
Well, we just continue to try to find ways to move the ball and be successful. I think we played better on third down in the second half. Of course, not good enough. We gave up a score early in the half, which was frustrating coming out of halftime. You gotta win that middle eight, and the last four of the second quarter and the first four of the third, and we were unable to do that today. And but we did play a lot of people. You saw a lot of people make some plays. We got some guys back from injury, and I'm excited about the roster moving forward. We got good kids, good players on this football team, and we just got to continue to develop them. And now it's time for Coach Kramer.
One of those guys coming back, Eli Mostert, he was pretty amped up. Just how excited was he? And he had a pretty good game. He did.
Eli is a tremendous player, and kind of off and on. Coming back after the holidays, we didn't know what he would be able to do, and probably played more than what we'd anticipated. But some of that was up to our medical staff and up to Eli, just how he felt as the game progressed.
Let's take a look at second half highlights presented by Gate City Bank.
Empty backfield for Cam Miller. 7 yards deep in his own end zone. Floats it across the middle. That's Zach Mathis, and that's a big-time first down. Not necessarily constructed to come from behind. Kobe Johnson, a first down. Play clock winding down. Clean snap for Miller. All day to throw. And caught inbounds. The initial ruling, that was Jake Lippy. Well, we've seen huddles, we've seen fullbacks, and we have not talked about name, image, and likeness. This game has had a different feel to it. A couple of blue-collar teams going to work. Kobe Johnson straight ahead. Enough for the first down. Can he cross the goal line? And he can.
Look at the push.
That's a touchdown for the Bison and Kobe Johnson. Watching the NDSU fans celebrate for the first time. Verge of winning their national championship. They have coveted that trophy for so long.
Realizing that, this will be South Dakota State's time to shine a little bit.
Mathis, a hard hit.
Let's take a look at second half stats presented by Nodak Insurance. And Coach, finishing up 160 yards on the ground, a little tough go of it in that first half, but Kobe Johnson, other guys finding some rhythm there in that second half on the ground game.
Yeah, it was improved in the second half. Just, tough uphill battle when you're, spotted team 31 points in the first half. And, our kids continue to battle. They continue to be warriors out there, and super excited that there isn't any quit in this group. And I think we learned a valuable lesson today. We got to continue to just come out and execute early in games, and we can't fall behind like this.
Got more ahead in those first downs as well. 21 to finish up the ball game. Another young man that I'd like to highlight is Michael Tutsie, finishing up with 12 tackles. He's just been a tremendous asset to this program, Coach.
He has been. Michael's been here for 6 years and has played a huge role in our success defensively. Had the opportunity to coach him a couple years early. In his younger freshman and redshirt freshman year, and Coach Braun has done an unbelievable job with him. And Michael's daughter Sarai has become a big part of our program also, and we're going to miss him. And it has nothing to do with the X's and O's, but just the caliber of young man that he is, along with all of our seniors.
Let's go now to Logan Campbell with our Nodak Insurance Player of the Game, Zach Mathis. Logan?
Zach, obviously not the outcome you guys wanted, but can you just speak about the performance that you guys put on today and the fight that this team had?
I love these guys so much. It didn't end up how we wanted, but we really fought to the end, and no one gave up for a second, and that's a testament to this team and this program and the type of season we had. And I just know all my brothers are always going to fight back till the end.
Zach, you had 7 receptions for 123 yards. What was your mentality heading into the national championships game?
I just wanted to do whatever I could to help this team win. Simple as that. I had no idea. That's the first time I'm hearing what I had. Well, that's a first. that's wild, actually. But it's unfortunate. It didn't turn out how we wanted. Stats don't really matter at the end of the day, but I'm just proud of these guys for fighting for as long as we could till the clock hit 0.
Zach, you're coming back for another year. How much is this going to add to the fuel to the fire for next season?
Oh, a ton, especially losing to the rival. It doesn't help. So we'll definitely be back. We'll be back with a vengeance next year, and there will definitely be a different feel to the season next year.
All right, Zach, thank you so much. Zach Mathis, our Nodak Insurance Player of the Game.
Thank you, Logan. Always good to hear from a player like Zach Mathis, and a career day for him. A lot of receptions, over 100 yards out there. And the athletic ability, we saw that in the first half, going up, making some big plays, like what I saw from Zach Mathis today, Coach.
Well, yeah, he's a big, long kid. He can go up and get the ball, has a huge catch radius. And, Zach's been part of our program for a number of years now and has great understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, understands all the terminology, the verbiage, the concepts that we're utilizing. And he provides a big target for Cam. And, what I'm excited is this might be the first year, knock on wood, that Zach's got through a full season, without any, minus the normal bumps and bruises that you have during the season, and hopefully we can use that as momentum moving into the 23 season.
We'll step aside and take a break. We'll talk more about the FCS National Championship game when we come back.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
I live for adventure. Whether it's playing professional football or the solitude of being in the great outdoors. Through all my adventures, one thing I do know: life is unpredictable and full of change. Thankfully, some things remain the same. Important things like service, quality, expertise, and trust. From my childhood to today, Shields has my trust because it has been right there with me for all my adventures. Shields, right there with you.
Welcome back to the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz. In this week's Olaf Anderson segment, we'll talk with some of the seniors.
Man, I would do 6 years over like that if I could. To answer it bluntly, I would do it all over again without question. I love the people that I've been able to build relationships with, coaches, players, this program, the people in the community. Just amazing, surreal experience. And
it's very emotional, honestly, just being here since 2017, being here for 6 years, us 6 guys staying like 4 or 6 years, and just, man, like being up here just for so long, it's like you become like family so soon. And like,
it was huge. I mean, all the guys that I'm leaving right now that are leaving with me or still be in that locker room, I mean, it was great to be out here one more time with them guys. So I enjoyed every second of it, even though it didn't go our way.
Those seniors, such a special part of this program. I know it's a group that you really enjoy talking about. Just how special have these guys been to you this season?
Well, it's just not this season, but a lot of them I have personal connections to. Might have recruited them from when I recruited Minneapolis. You talk about a guy like Nash Jensen would be a great example. Other guys just having great connections with them, having been the D coordinator before, and these guys have persevered a lot. They've had some unique situations here. They went through a pandemic. They went through a canceled fall. They went through a spring football that was kind of herky-jerky, and nobody knew what to expect. They've been champions through and through, and I know these guys are going to continue to have great success in life after Bison football, but they'll always be a huge part of this program.
I mean, a lot of them, of course, coming in as freshmen, even redshirt freshmen on the scout team. You take a guy like Cody Malk, and physically watching him grow up, what has that been like for you?
Well, that's one of the things that I think we do second to none is our development of, walk-on type bodies. And, we've had some really good walk-ons while we've been here. Cody's one of them that has really elevated his game and bought into what we're doing from a developmental standpoint, not just in the weight room, but in the off season, in the summer. It was critical for his development. Now he's one of the best linemen in the country, and is going to have opportunities to play on Sunday.
And a lot of bit of Jim Kramer thrown in on there,
well,
right, Coach?
Of course. I mean, and when I say development,
sure,
that's where I'm leaning. I mean, our coaches do a great job with the X's and O's and the scheme of it all, but Jim does such a great job. I mean, he has more interaction with our players than anybody, just because when we're on the road recruiting or we're meeting, I mean, he sees them probably almost every day throughout the year, and he's a vital part of our success.
Well, in this week's Great Clip, Great Question of the Game, brought to you by Great Clips. It's from Eric in Ellendale. Coach Entz, he wants to know, what sticks out in your mind most about this season?
Some of it is just the unique circumstances we had to navigate through as a program. A lot of injuries at different times, but I think the thing that probably jumps out that most people don't see because it happens behind the locker room doors is just the cohesiveness of this group, the collective effort that they put forth. All of a sudden, early October, what were we, 4-2, 5-2, and we kind of had our backs against the wall, and we continued to play better and better football as the regular season unfolded and the playoffs unfolded, and what a special group. My relationships with them, but just to see how all of them, their relationships with one another is pretty unique too.
Stay with us, Bison Nation. There's more to come on the football show with Coach Matt Entz.
Teamwork, talent, dedication, leadership. These values that win championships on the field also build community, improve lives, and make a difference every single day. For you, for our neighbors, for our community, for a better way of life. Gate City Bank.
Bison Nation, this is head football coach Matt Entz. With all that goes into leading the Bison to victory, the last thing I want to worry about is the clothing I need to look and feel my best. I shop at Halberstadt's West Acres because I trust that they provide me with everything I need for meetings at the office, press conferences, and casual Bison attire. With plenty of options for sport coats, shirts, denim, suits, shoes, and accessories, I'm confident that when I need anything and everything menswear, Halberstadt's West Acres has me covered.
Welcome back to the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz as we wrap up here. And Coach, a lot of history, a lot of legacy behind this program. And as you mentioned in the previous segment, some adversity, the guys working through that. Tough game against Incarnate Word, getting them here to this national championship game. No, it's not the result you wanted, but you're still so proud of this team this year, fighting through injuries and so many other things.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, this game does not define our senior class or this football program. I'm disappointed that we didn't play better in the national championship game, but we need to learn from it, especially, and I challenged our younger guys in the locker room after the game that I was glad that our guys stayed out on the field and watched the trophy being presented to South Dakota State. We are always battling complacency at NDSU, and this will be a great reminder as we go into what's a critical time of the year for us, the off season, that we need to continue to be locked in and really dialed in on what we want to be and what we want to look like as a program.
We know 12 seniors graduating, but the pipeline is full. It's always filling up. You guys do a great job on the recruiting end. What's next year looking like? I know it's a little bit early, but how does that look, Coach?
Well, first things first, there's another signing date. There may be another additional couple kids on our football team. We have some mid-year young men that are joining us here tomorrow. School starts on Tuesday, and then we need to ramp this thing up, have an awesome off season, get into spring ball, and really do a great job of self-diagnosis, self-evaluation, looking at what we struggled with, what we were good at, what we need to be better at as we move into the summer and into the fall of 23.
Well, again, it's been a privilege to be with you all season. I've enjoyed being with you. I've enjoyed these shows and looking forward to more greatness down the road, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Rob.
As always, thank you, Bison Nation. This will wrap it up one final time here on the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz. As always, horns up and go Bison.
Today's Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz has been presented by Gate City Bank and Pepsi.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.